Hey kids, it's me, Jeremy Christmas. So I was playing the new Twisted Metal with a gay friend of mine, and I was taken by the fact it actually was a really fun multiplayer experience. So I thought to myself, what have been the best co op experiences that I can remember? I made a list. I hope you like lists. I know I do.
Knights of the Round was a side-scrolling beat-em-up for the SNES. This is one of the few SNES games I still have the cartridge for. My brother and I played this constantly as kids and as adults. Every couple of levels you'd get a visual armor or weapon upgrade. I don't know if it actually made your guy better, but it looked pretty cool. A note, as a fan of Arthurian legend, I never understood the inclusion of Percival. He was much younger than Arthur or Lancelot. He was more around Galahad's time, Lancelot's son. Also, he wasn't to my knowledge a big hulking monster with an axe. But what can you do? I remember playing Twisted Metal 1 on a demo disc for the PlayStation. It was fun, but I never bought the full game. I just wasn't that interested. My big experience was the sequel, Twisted Metal 2. It's the classic car battle game. You could go through story mode co-op, which was really fun to play with my friends. I know Sweet Tooth's the main character, but I was an Axel guy. He was a freaking half man, half car. When he came at you, it was just two giant tires with a man in between, blasting rockets at you. I definitely had some late nights playing this one with friends. And you know what? The Calypso guy, I think he's just really misunderstood. Castle Crashers is insane. The most recent game on the list, it takes everything about the classic 2D beat 'em up and injects it full of ridiculousness. It also contains a light RPG aspect that allows you to make the same character completely different based on your point allocation. I made my guy all magical and junk. Behemoth is working on not Castle Crashers 2, which is the worst news I've ever heard. The original and the only good ToeJam and Earl game, sorry Panic on Funkatron, the first thing that comes to mind when I look at this is remembering beating it finally in college, only to have the worst migraine ever and have to go to the emergency room. I can barely even look at it now without getting a little queasy, but that doesn't change its innate awesomeness. I don't exactly know what the genre of this thing is, but I do know you pick up random power-ups in the form of presents, and 50% of the time they cause absolute chaos. Love it. Finally defeating that son of a bitch Bareth. That's when I really started to love this game. As far as co-op multiplayer games go, this is one that almost demands you have buddies. Sure, you can play it as a solo experience if you hate yourself. I'll go on record and say I hate the graphics on Wii, but even with the ugly, blurry textures, Try successfully creates a great sense of atmosphere, especially underwater, which is more unnerving than any recent Resident Evil game I've played. Get traps. You can't win without traps. Remember when Phantasy Star Universe came out and it was a big convoluted mess that was about as fun as garbage, and on top of that, it had a monthly fee? Yeah, me too. Before that though, there was an awesome 3D dungeon crawler called Phantasy Star Online. Yeah, there was. You and up to 3 of your homies could rock out, smashing alien monsters, upping your stats, and getting sweet gear. I'll admit it did get a little less fun after the forest levels, but to be fair, how do you top the forest levels? You can't. It's impossible. Shut up, dude thinking jungles. Jungles are just forests with different trees. This is kind of a non-traditional co-op experience in that you don't start with all the characters. So for the first couple of hours, it's a solo experience. It's whatever. I just think that makes it quirky. It's also one of the best games ever made and has sweet music and a big colorful dragon. That's winning in my book. I remember playing this with my friend and being the imp, aka most powerful magic user. My buddy, who was the hero, was like, "Let me play the imp." And I was all like, "No, F you, bro. You made your choice." Then he quit. What a baby. You hear that music? Yeah, that's the theme song to Awesome. Ultima Online is the only MMO on this list because it's the only good MMO that has ever been made. Feed that to your pandering nerds. No leveling required. You increase your skills by, wait, using them. Want to be better with a sword? Use it. Want to raise your strength? Go work in the mines. It also has the novel concept of grouping, which, when you hit it, then I hit it, so we're hitting it. Okay, we're grouping. The game was ahead of its time. I only hope this concept for building MMOs comes back at some point. Sad face. This may very well be the best game ever created. I've spent thousands of hours battling the minions of hell, And looking at this now, it just makes me want to roll a new tune, nerd speak, and quest all over again. This game is perfection. I don't even care about getting Diablo 3, which looks like crap by the way. Just give me an HD remake of Diablo 2 and my life will be complete. Hey, don't forget to like me on Facebook. It's Jeremy Christmas, obviously, on Facebook. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's JXMASS, 2 S's, because I guess some other douche got the Jexmas with 1 S, but this is the douche you want to follow.